Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Corey Yeller, yes, I am. Yes, Mr. Z is late. 15 minutes late, give or take a minute. Okay, y'all saw the clip. Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla. Shout out to Keep It 100 Marcus, right? Wow. Okay. For those of you that don't know, links in the description. It was a short bus. What that was short bus Saturday, short bus Sunday, short bus Saturday, short bus Saturday that Green Gorilla had. Um, when I played a clip of a young lady, right? Speaking about the greatness of white men, and for a little while she didn't mention black men, and then she did mention black men. And so today we will be covering it because y'all know Mr. Z. Of course, we're going to be covering it. Um, First, we know she's lying, right? She's putting on, and there's a whole lot of begging going on, if we're going to be 100% honest. But before we get to that, let's first kind of get an understanding of why she sounds like this, right? So let's play this clip first. Hopefully, you guys can hear. Y'all already know Mr. Z is on a shoestring budget. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, right? So we're gonna play this clip first, so we can get an idea of why this young lady sounds the way she does, and hopefully, you guys can hear this. How people interact with each other. So what we found is that race is the deal breaker of all characteristics. It operates more strongly than education, physical characteristics. It is the deal breaker. And one of the things that we often found, I thought was interesting in interviewing, especially many of the white men, is this aggrieved feeling that they were disadvantaged in online dating, and that they were being ignored. And yet, in our quantitative analysis, we find that white men are the most desired of all men. And this has been shown in many other platforms too. So this is not specific to the platform that we're looking at. Our quantitative analysis showed that almost all women, or all women of all races, and almost all gay men, actually black men did not show this, that their preference was strongest for white men. Now this preference for white men was statistically significant for other races, but especially strong for white women. But I found it really interesting that women and gay men of other races would respond first to white men and only secondly to men of their same race. So on the other hand, when it comes to preferences for women, so if we look at the ways in which straight men and lesbians, who their preferences are, who they interact with, etc., we found that unlike for men, whiteness was not the defining characteristic per se, but the defining pattern was for same race preferences, so contacting others of the same race. So if you have a white man, lay up in your bed. So, once again, dear black men, this is not about what you are not doing, right? This is not about what you are not doing. This is not about you being a lazy bum. This is not about you being an adult sleeping on your mother's couch. This is not about you getting up and getting a job or what you haven't achieved. What you haven't achieved, dear black man, is whiteness. Unfortunately for you, black men, right? You are not a white man in a white racist society on a white dominated planet. That is why Mr. Z says black women are charging you with the black tax, being a black man in an anti black society. That is what this is about. As you can hear again, it's all about the white man. That is why I make jokes and I say, how did we end up under the white man's crotch area again? How did we end up in front of the white man's penis region again? Right? I'm joking, but I'm not joking. And do I have to be that vulgar? No. But does it drive the point home? Yes. At the end of the day, dear black men, what this young lady expressed has nothing to do with you because it's not about you. It is about her seeking validation. As she pretty much said in so many words, her seeking validation for what she feels is feminine, right? The way she wants to be treated, the way she wants the society to see her, is to see her as a upper middle class and above white woman. That is the white women she described. She wasn't speaking about your everyday white man. It's a very specific white man she's describing because the lifestyle that she is trying to achieve. Now, let's hear what the young lady said again, right? For those of you that didn't catch Dr. Green Gorilla's stream, let's hear what the young lady said so we can understand why Mr. Z sounds the way he does early this morning. All right, give me 1 second. Remember, shoestring budget, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. All right, y'all.
You have a white man laid up in your bed, or a white man claiming you publicly or in general, take care of that white man. Do what you need to do for that white man. Yes, jump on it. Jump on that train. If Luke, Ryan, Dustin, if they are looking at you, you go be with Luke, Ryan, or Dustin right now. Drop everything you were doing. Go be with him. Be with that man. I'm truly and honestly, for the longest, I didn't even see myself marrying a black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man. I did not see myself with a black man. Black woman, please do not see this. Do not see the white man looking at you as anything that is bad. Because as a black woman who's dated white men, let me tell you something. Those boys, they will treat you as if they owe you. Which they do. They treat you as if they owe you for slavery. And I wish I was playing, but they really do. They treat you as if they really are trying to repay you. They're saying they're sorry for what their ancestors did to yours. They're repaying you. Because the white man is going to take care of you. The white man takes care of the black woman. They treat them as if they're little queens. They do anything you want them to do. And even for the white man, listen to this. Even for the white man to step out with a black woman. Now, a black man stepping out with a white woman, it's like, okay, whatever, what's new? But a white man to step out with a black woman, for a white man to go out and say, I'm going to be with this woman, and there's nothing that the society can say to me. White man, y'all are eating, y'all are eating, y'all are eating. And I want to let the white man know right now, as a woman who's dated some whites, everything that y'all do for us, y'all already know that we're reciprocating it. Y'all already know that it's coming back in tenfold. But the fact, I just want to thank y'all because for the white man that actually stepped out from a white woman to get with a black, and to go black at that, man, come on now, white man. You're cool. I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping for you. White men, they have the power to do different things in this world that a lot of people do not have the power to do. Power or the privilege. That's the key word, privilege. They do not have the privilege to do. They do not have the privilege of a white man. Do whatever you need to do for that white man because, baby, let me tell you something. And 9 times out of 10, the main difference I've seen between black and white men is black men, they really don't be emotionally, financially, like mentally, they be all like missing those areas. They be like unstableness, like they just don't be knowing what's going on. They're not good with finances. They're used to people babying them. They're used to people like just doing for them, like handicapping them, crippling them, like literally making them crippled. Like that's what they're used to. They're used to people just kind of catering for them, but they really don't have the big things that are important. They don't have them figured out. But a white man, as soon as Dustin get out of high school, that boy got a trust fund set up. A trust fund. A trust fund. He got fun. He got money set up. So if you are a black woman and a white man is looking at you, you jump on that white man. You jump on that white man. Because let me tell you something. Me personally, I'm still looking for me a Luke. I'm still looking for me a Dustin. I'm still looking for me a Ryan. I'm still looking for one. And the reason being is because I understood black men, they don't be having it all together. They're really good for that's good. Yeah, I can make plus. But as far as everything else goes, it's kind of like a lot of them, they don't check those boxes. But man, they're going to check those boxes. And if they don't check them today, as a black woman, all you have to do is put it in their ear. And you know what? They're going to find out who they need to talk to. They'll have that going on the phone right now. And they'll have that shit set up. Set up. That's the privilege. The white man privilege. The white man privilege. That will rub off on you. Telling you to work with the man. I'm just saying for the black woman, if a white man is looking at you, get up and get up on it. Because that white man can take you further than a black man has ever taken you.
So, first, shout out to Nema. And yes, Nema, I'm going to use Busy Bone as a reference. Yes, you're not turning white, you're turning Busy Bone. Anyway, let's pause right there. And on a serious note, this young lady's begging. She's begging. This is less an advertisement for black women to attempt to chase after white men and more this young lady specifically begging white men to save her from quote unquote Blackistan. She is begging and pleading. Right? She is begging. As the ruthless, heartless revelator says, she is pathetic. It's pathetic. Indigo flow. It's giving mammy vibes. Exactly. Or it's giving mammy. It is. It is. She is begging. Let's be very clear. This is Chrissy. I'm not saying this is literally Chrissy, but this is Chrissy, right? This is Mahogany Pink. This is Cynthia G. This is Lexus Exodus. This is Crystalline Karazin. This is Divested Zealot. This is Divested Witch, right? Etc., etc. All of them. Shira 7. This is them. This is what they really sound like. This is what it really is. Right? This young lady is begging white men. That's why she said, I'm still looking for my Dustin. You're still looking. And you won't find it. Because you're not just looking for a white man, the second most populous group in America. You're looking for a very specific type of white man. A pushover, lame, simp, naive white man who you deem as good looking or good looking enough with a whole lot of resources and connections. As we've said on this channel multiple times, these particular type of women, women of color, black women specifically, aren't looking just to be with a white man. They want a very specific white man. Once again, someone that's naive, lame, a simp, a pushover with a whole lot of money and connections and status. This young lady inadvertently was way more honest. She was putting on, she was lying, but her aspirations, her goals were out there on Front Street for everyone to see. Right? She is begging. Right? She is begging white people, white men, white society to come and save her from quote unquote Blackistan. If this young lady is correct, right? If she's dated all these kick-ass white men who are attempting to pay her back for what whites have done previously, right? Or white transgression against blacks. If she is correct, where's her wedding ring? If she is correct, where is her wedding ring? Once again, only 4% of marriageable age black women, if we want to be kind, let's say 5%. Of all marriageable age black women, I think they start the clock at 16, okay, but all marriageable age black women, only 4 to 5% are married to a non-black man. 4%, not that 12% when you control for only married black women. 4 to 5%. If white men were truly trying to pay black women back for previous transgressions against black people, are we to say that only 4 to 5% of black women have ever had sex with a white man? Is that what we're saying? So where are all the wedding rings from white men to black women specifically? Where are all the wedding rings? If white men are trying to pay black women back for slavery and Jim Crow and redlining and hanging and etc., etc., keeping you out of schools for anti-miscegenation laws and separate but equal, and etc., etc. Second class citizen, actually less than second class citizen. If white men in particular are trying to repay black women, where is the wedding ring? Notice this young lady didn't say anything about any other man. She said nothing about Latino men or Asian men or indigenous men, because none of those men can raise her quote unquote stock the way a white man can, as evidenced by her own words. Right? As evidenced by her own words. This is the sentiment. This is what's going through their minds. This is how they feel. Black men with white women, meh. White man with black women, she's a queen to be. Right? At the end of the day, and I'm going to continue to reiterate this stream. Dear black men, y'all share this with Sarge Willie Pete. Dear black men, this is not about what you've built or haven't built. If that was the case, she wouldn't be speaking just about white men. She would be mentioning white Asian men, right? Money, resources, intelligence, education. No, she said white men specifically. Because this is about who's won the quote unquote race war. This is about being validated by not a man, not a well to do man, but the man. As Dr. Jennifer Lundquist said, race is the determining factor. The white man's race. And as much as white men put on and pretend like they don't know, it's very clear by the actions of women, namely women of color, what this is really about. This is black women, this is South Asian women, this is East Asian women, this is Latina women. Right? This is non-white women. Of course, white women, but this is non-white women. Right? This young lady was very clear. It's all about status. If that white man is claiming you publicly, take care of that white man. If that white man is claiming you publicly, if that white man is claiming you publicly, so everywhere we go in the hood or black women, white man, white man, with actuality, Mr. Z does believe there are quite a few black women that are truly not attracted to white men. I believe that's a thing. But for the ones on the fence, for the ones putting on, yeah, white man, and then the white man walks in the room, whoopsie. If that white man claims you publicly, in that statement, you can hear see, I know that white men are having sex with us in secret. I know that white men are all of us in private and just to have, sex with us. But if he actually claims you in public, oh man. See, a white man claiming a black woman in public is like that black woman winning an Oscar or a Grammy. right? What this young lady expressed here, this is the sentiment of your average swirler and definitely the sentiment of your average divester. Your average divester just takes a very militant, angry, argumentative stance. But this is the sentiment of your average swirler or divester. This is it. This is begging white men. And that's okay. The reason why we're reviewing this today is once again to say, yeah, Dr. Umar Johnson, now what? Yeah, FD signifier, now what? Foreign man in a foreign land, now what? Cat Black, now what? T Noir, now what? Nappy Headed Hoba, now what? Julesy, now what? Kim Foster, now what? Chrissy, now what? Chrislyn Karazin, now what? T1J, now what? Consciously, now what? How loud do they have to be? Huh? How loud do they have to be? I know y'all come across these videos on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. It's not just the Black Manosphere coming across these videos. Y'all are too cowardly to accept and admit, okay, maybe we went too far with the black men ain't ish and the black men don't be so supporting us and they don't show up for us and they're losers and they're immature and they this failed patriarchy. Maybe we went too far with it. Maybe we went too far with it and we were too loud and now our daughters are white racist chocolate dipped. Yeah? Maybe we went too far with criticizing, insulting, belittling, demeaning our black boys and black men in front of their sisters. Maybe we went too far. But instead of the black community admitting that maybe we went too far, and maybe we done turned our daughters into white racist women, chocolate dipped, into neo Nazis, into white worshiping little girls in women's bodies, instead of us admitting that maybe, whether it's politically left or politically right, what we have is a bunch of black women hoping and wishing and praying that they were white. This young lady couldn't be more blatant. Kim Foster gonna address this? Nope. T Noir? Right? FD signifier? Nope. T1J? Nope. Consciously? Nope. Too busy placating. All the men too busy placating. Huh? Loud. I told y'all they were loud. Right? Can you imagine what white men are doing to and with black women who think and feel like this? Can you imagine what a white man is doing to a woman like this, especially if he does have a couple of dollars? What can you as a black man do with a woman like this, especially after she done been with that white man for real? Dear Dr. Umar Johnson, Willie D, Huh? What can you do with a black woman like this? Huh? Once again, especially after she has actually been with that white man. Once again, notice it's not about any other non black man. It's specifically about the white man. At the end of the day, it's always about the white man, right? It's not about any other man. It's specifically about the white man. Once again, let's play this one more again for y'all, right? And I'll come back with the rest of my commentary on the other side of this.
How people interact with each other. So what we found is that race is the deal breaker of all characteristics. It operates more strongly than education, physical characteristics. It is the deal breaker. And one of the things that we often found, which I thought was interesting, in interviewing, especially many of the white men, is this aggrieved feeling that they were disadvantaged in online dating, and that they were being ignored. And yet, in our quantitative analysis, we find that white men are the most desired of all men. And this has been shown in many other platforms too. So this is not specific to the platform that we're looking at. Our quantitative analysis shows that almost all women, or all women of all races, and almost all gay men, actually black men did not show this, that their preference was strongest for white men. Now this preference for white men was statistically significant for other races, but especially strong for white women. But I found it really interesting that women and gay men of other races would respond first to white men and only secondly to men of their same race. So on the other hand, when it comes to preferences for women, so if we look at the ways in which straight men and lesbians, who their preferences are, who they interact with, etc., we found that unlike for men, whiteness was not the defining characteristic per se, but the defining pattern was for same race preferences, so contacting others of the same race.
At the end of the day, and y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and thank you, no placeholder, for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Compassionate Callus said they need to rename Stockholm Syndrome to Keisha Syndrome. Right? And what did we expect? What did we expect? Integrated with white folks. Not really, but on paper. And then commenced to using second wave feminism to bash men, particularly black men, into oblivion. In front of the women, in front of the black women, in front of the black little girls. And 2 and 3 generations later, voila. And now your daughters and granddaughters sound like this. Thank you, Trell. Assimilated, not integrated. This young lady was very, very clear. As I said before, the internet will expose us all. The internet will expose us all. ... Actually, we will expose ourselves on the internet. And here you go. Right? I don't see myself marrying a black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man. I don't see myself marrying a black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man. That is perfectly okay. But let's be very clear, black men, it's not because of what you haven't done. It's how this woman thinks of race and prestige and access. This is not about you lacking, dear black men. This is about this woman and her proximity to white men, right? I don't see myself marrying a black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man, right? The white man takes care of the black woman. The white man takes care of the black woman. Meanwhile, women like this are begging white men because only 4%, 4 to 5% of black women are interracially married. 4 to 5% of all marriageable age black women are interracially married because they're running into the wall of these men having preferences also, right? Non-black men having preferences also. For all those women that like to mock black men, oh, your preference, your preference. What happens when you live in a world in a country that's anti-black? Yes, black women, even anti-black women, even though y'all been spending the better part of 4 to 5 decades attempting to separate yourself from black men, non-black men said, yeah, but you're still black though. And your skin color is anathema to wealth and resources. Oh, you got a little education? That's cute. Oh, you got a master's degree? I'm a PhD. Oh, you have a PhD? That's cute. But you're black though. Oh, you're pretty, so that means I want to have sex with you. But I don't know if I can marry you because you're black though. You know, black women, the way you talk and treat black men, right? The white man takes care of the black woman. This is Bell Hooks. Like I said, this is Chrissy. This is Lexus Exodus. This is Mahogany Pink. This is Crystalline Kerosene. All the divested whatevers, right? All the women that mock black men. Oh, your preference? Your preference? All the women that's dancing on Jeezy's misfortune right now. This is them, right? This young lady said it. She said it. The privilege, right? This young lady is attempting to gain white male privilege, white male power by proximity to whiteness, right? By proximity to whiteness, to white men in particular. And once again, I asked Dr. Umar Johnson and FD Signifier, what are you supposed to do with women like this? But they think it's only one or two women like this in the black community, only a handful, right? Meanwhile, black women are getting louder. The black women that think like this are getting louder, and I would argue even more numerous, right? And let's play that clip one more again.
So if you have a white man laid up in your bed, or a white man claiming you publicly or in general, take care of that white man. Do what you need to do for that white man. Yes, jump on it. Jump on that train. If Luke, Ryan, Dustin, if they are looking at you, you go be with Luke, Ryan, or Dustin right now. Drop everything you were doing. Go be with him. Be with that man. I'm truly, honestly, for the longest, I didn't even see myself marrying no black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man. I did not see myself with a black man. Black woman, please do not see this. Do not see the white man looking at you as anything that is bad. Because as a black woman who has dated white men, let me tell you something. Those boys, they will treat you as if they owe you. Which they do. They treat you as if they owe you for slavery. And I wish I was slave, but they really do. They treat you as if they literally are trying to repay you. They're saying they're sorry for what their ancestors did to yours. They're repaying you. Because the white man is going to take care of you. The white man takes care of the black woman. They treat them as if they're literal queens. They do anything you want them to do. And even for the white man, listen to this. Even for the white man to step out with a black woman. Now, a black man stepping out with a white woman, it's like, okay, whatever, what's new? But a white man to step out with a black woman, for a white man to go out and say, I'm going to be with this woman, and there's nothing that the society can say to me. White man, y'all are eating. And I want to let the white man know right now, as a woman who was dated some whites, everything that y'all do for us, y'all already know that we're reciprocating it. Y'all already know that it's coming back in tenfold. But the back, I just want to thank y'all because for the white man that actually stepped out from a white woman to get with a black man and to go black at that. Man, come on now, white man. You cool. I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping for you. White men, they have the power to do different things in this world that a lot of people do not have the power to do. Power or the privilege. That's the key word, privilege. They do not have the privilege to do. They do not have the privilege of a white man. Do whatever you need to do for that white man because, baby, let me tell you something. Now, 9 times out of 10, the main difference I've seen between black and white men is black men, they really don't be emotionally, financially, like mentally, they be all like missing those areas. They be like unstableness, like they just don't be knowing what's going on. They're not good with finances. They're used to people babying them. They're used to people like just doing for them, like handicapping them, crippling them, like literally making them crippled. Like that's what they're used to. They're used to people just kind of catering for them, but they really don't have the big things that are important. They don't have them figured out. But a white man, as soon as Dustin get out of high school, that boy got a trust fund set up. A trust fund. You got a fund. You got money set up. So if you are a black woman and a white man is looking at you, you jump on that white man. You jump on that white man. Because let me tell you something. Me personally, I'm still looking for me a Luke. I'm still looking for me a Dustin. I'm still looking for me a Ryan. I'm still looking for one. And the reason being is because I understood that black men, they don't be having it all together. They don't. They're really good for. That's good. Yeah, I can make plus. But as far as everything else goes, it's kind of like a lot of them, they don't check those boxes. But man, they're going to check those boxes. And if they don't check them today, as a black woman, all you have to do is put it in their ear. And you know what? They're going to find out who they need to talk to. They have that lawyer on the phone right now. And they have that shit set up. They have it set up. That's the privilege. The white man privilege. The white man privilege. They will rub off on you simply because you are with the man. I'm just saying for the black woman, if a white man is looking at you, get up and get up on it. Because that white man can take you further than a black man has ever taken you.
Yeah. So don't worry, Chrissy. My video, my response is coming. Now what? This young lady, if you didn't hear black women sound like white supremacists before, anti-black before, if you don't know what Massandry is yet, if you don't know what anti-black Massandry is yet, what is more misandrous than a black woman saying, yeah, black men are only good for sex? The white man got the resources. So you got a money grubbing, hyper capitalist user, right? Misandrous, so that's sexist in the opposite direction than most people think. Black woman. Huh. Who's attempting to once again prey on some naive, simp, pushover white man with resources. Right? Huh. And the professional says, Z, Lay out the case for being with a woman who has only been with him to this extent in her mind, bro. I'm gonna address that in a minute. Give me 1 second because I saw a comment here. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, I'm Wolf said, can someone please tell me who is this female? So I got this clip off of Green Gorilla's channel, right? I'm not sure. I think he got it off of TikTok, or if it wasn't Keep It 100, I got it off of TikTok and then shared it with the rest of us, shared it with Green Gorilla and then shared it with the rest of us, right? So y'all give me a second. We're going for a ride. We're going for a ride. We're gonna turn two corners. I might lose signal for a second. We will see. Hopefully not, but we will see. And hopefully you guys can still hear me. So what we see here is this is what it is. This is what they sound like, right? The young lady boiled black men down to just their sex organs. Once again, we've heard this from multiple swirlers and divestors. We've heard this from black women who are not card carrying swirlers and divestors, that all black men are their genitals, right? All white men are their resources and ability to make certain women of color, namely black women, feel secure and feel elevated. And this society wants to speak about men and sexism. This society wants to speak about men and sexism, while women boil men down to, oh yeah, he's just a sex dude, he's just a walking wallet, right? He's just a cuddly teddy bear, can't do nothing with him. This is why we say no friend zone. This guy is just good to bring you up after a breakup, you know. He's the rebound guy that you don't have sex with, right? Perpetual friend zone guy. Y'all think women don't know what they doing, right? And we'll pause right here for a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you guys can hear me. And once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And the professional was saying, Mr. Z, lay out the case for being with a woman who has only been with him to this extent in her mind. If him is Mr. D White Man, shout out to Trill. Um, you I don't really think you can do anything with a black woman who's only been with white men. As a black man, I don't know if I'm understanding your question correctly. I don't know what you can do, and hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me get a comment in the super chat. I mean, in the super chat. Let me get a sorry, y'all. Let me get a comment in the chat box if y'all can still hear me. Let me get a one or something. But yeah, you know, and they go when Jamaican on them, D white men them, or black man, the white man them. But yeah, no, I don't think there's anything you can actually do with a woman like this, even if she hasn't been with the white man. Those aspirations don't just disappear, right? That mindset just doesn't change overnight. I don't, as a black man, I don't see black people, especially black people that haven't, harmed or, you know, um, in that way, like murdered or anything like that. Other black people, I'm very hesitant to say other black people are irredeemable, right? Um, or they're not salvageable. But a woman like this, you have to leave her for the white man. She has to end up with the white dude, or at least a non-black guy. I don't see what a black man can ever do for a woman like this. And shout out to all you black men who think, oh, you know what, she can't resist the swag and the masculinity. Oh, I'm gonna put this dick on her. Yeah, that sound nice, right? I don't actually know what you can do with a woman like this, to be frank with you, right? And let's read on no placeholders comment, right? And no placeholder says, and once again, thank you for the super chat, the professional. And no placeholder says, Mr. Z says treat you just like you treat black men. Bravo. Yeah, yes, I did say that. But yeah, what can you do with a woman like this? You know, women like this want to be upper middle class and above white women. They want to look down their noses at others. This is about power, prestige, positionality, status, right? This is not about being stable or comfortable. This is not even just about being a white woman. It's about being a upper middle class and above white woman. And the reason why this matters to black men, it's not because these black women want to be upper middle class white women in a vacuum. It's that within the black community, the negative propaganda that women like this then spread about black men, because black men haven't made them upper middle class white women, and white men haven't made them upper middle class white women politically, socially, economically, but definitely politically and socially. Quite frankly, some of these women might not even, they would rather have less money just to feel like an upper middle class white woman. The reason why we cover this is because the negative PR that women like this spread about black men, because they are not upper middle class white women. And this young lady has said it in so many words that that is her goal. She has said it in so many words, right? She said it. The privilege. As a matter of fact, she stopped her own sentence. She stopped mid sentence to say the privilege. The young lady also said Black men don't have it together emotionally, financially, and mentally. Now, where is the data to support that? As a matter of fact, the data says otherwise. Granted, for argument's sake, black men don't have it together financially in a white supremacist society only 50 or so years out of Jim Crow on paper. Okay, granted. Y'all know Mr. Z like to remind y'all it's only been 50 years. 50 years, give or take, since Jim Crow. On paper. On paper. Right? This young lady wants black men to put black women where upper middle class white women are only 50 or so years out of Jim Crow. Right? She says emotionally and mentally. Black men don't have it together emotionally and mentally. When other non black women, much of the reason why they get together with black men is because black men have it together emotionally and mentally. You know, those most egalitarian men in America, you know, the men that look out for women, you know, the men that when they find themselves in positions of power and when they find themselves in political position, they advocate for women, for LGBTQ, etc., etc. Those women are like this young lady saying that black men don't have it together emotionally and mentally. This young lady is saying black men don't have it together emotionally and mentally. Hmm. So we just spreading not only just negative propaganda, we just spreading whole lies now. We're just spreading whole lies now. Black men don't have it together emotionally and mentally. Meanwhile, when those same solid middle, upper middle class women, white women, divorce their white husbands, you know, the white husbands that are stable and above stable, why do those women say they divorce them often? Sometimes DV, sometimes financial quote unquote abuse. Oftentimes, he's not there emotionally. He's emotionally stunted. Huh, huh, wait a minute. The white man with the resources, his wife is divorcing him, although women just divorce men for any reason. His wife is divorcing him because he's not emotionally available. Uh oh. Because he, you know, the men with the resources, the white man, has arrested development, right? He's a big kid at 50 years old. And because he was born with a silver spoon up his ass, he's been able to hide it. And because he's connected, he was able to get a job and have a career and be put in position and never have to mature and grow up. And yet we have black women saying that black men are emotionally and mentally not there. Hmm. Exactly, Barry Hamilton. And Barry Hamilton says, "Oh, there we go again with that emotional intelligence lark." Right? Oh, you knew it was coming. Oh, you knew it. Right? Once again, the young lady is just begging. Begging. Now, if y'all want to have a good laugh, everyone, black men are used to people doing for them. Black men are used to people doing. You imagine a black woman saying that black men are used to people doing for them, and try to juxtapose that to white men? First, a black woman saying that. That's number one. That's number one. Meanwhile, we have, excuse me, Goldman Sachs wanting to give black women $10 billion. We have other NGOs and we have, excuse me, think tanks and et cetera, et cetera. We have BLM, oops, using the blood, lives, and memories, the dead bodies of black men, right? We have BLM using the dead bodies of black men to advance LGBTQ black folks and black women. And this young lady has the unmitigated gall, the gumption, the temerity, the audacity to say black men are used to people doing for them. And then in the very next statement, very next sentence, then she proceeds to mention white men having trust funds set up for them. Well, I mean, black men are used to people doing for them. And then her very next statement is about white men having trust funds set up for them, which is the most prime example of having people do for you to the point where when they're dead, they're still doing for you. They set you up good financially. Once again, first of all, how many white men actually get trust funds? What's the percentage of that? Right? What's the percentage of that? Once again, this young lady is begging. This young lady is begging. This is what begging looks like. She's saying the high praises of white men, black women relationships. Fine, that has nothing to do with black men. She takes jabs at black men, and this is where we get included, and this does have something to do with black men. And she ends out advocating for black women that don't feel weird if a white man's looking at you, gawking at you, let's be very clear. And if he shows you any type of interest, you better jump on that. Jump on what? Haha, Trell. The white pink pole. Pink pole polishing. Right? Now, Indigo says, did I read his super chat? Not yet. I didn't get to it yet. And Indigo says, oh, chill. The plantation. we're oh yeah, we're on the plantation. Oh, we definitely are on the plantation. Oh, we're on the plantation. Yes, we are. Right? And Kevin C says, here you go. And I think Better You said it also earlier too. And Kevin C says, here you go. Less than 2% of the US population receives a trust fund according to the Survey of Consumer Finances. And thank you, Kevin C. And thank you, Better You, earlier for saying it. Yeah, Better You did say it. Less than 2% of Americans have trust funds. That's man, woman, gay, straight, black, white, everyone. And Kevin C says the median amount is $285,000. The average was $4,062,918. By the way, whenever I see a number that's greater than like $100,000, I always think of the brother in Africa. For those of y'all already know where I'm going. It was some politician in Africa that was trying to read the numbers, right? He was trying to read a dollar amount, and like he kept on fumbling over the number, and he spent like a good 2 minutes trying to get the number out. For all of you that ever seen that video, this is forever ago. Was this even a decade ago? This was forever ago, but it was a funny video, right? It kind of circulated the internet for a little while. It was funny. So 2% of the US population gets trust funds. And yet this young lady is talking about white men getting trust funds set up for them. All right, then. Right. And what that speaks to, first of all, is a naivete from black women. Secondly, that they're attempting to gaslight black men. Third, that they don't really know white men. And fourth, once again, this is about money and resources and status. This is not about love. This is not about whether black women find white men particularly attractive. This is about power, wealth, status, prestige, positionality, obviously proximity. Right? That's what this is about. And no placeholder says, and thank you for the super chat, no placeholder. The sad part is other black women are just a quiet version. Yes, there are plenty of black women who think and feel just like this. They just never say it out loud. There are plenty of black women that co-sign this. That's why when a young lady like this, when they're all out for brunch, right, or they day partying, and the conversation comes up, and one of the women or two of the women in the friend circle start sounding like this, the other ones don't say anything. Even the ones in loving relationships with black men don't say anything, because even if they don't fully agree, which let's be very clear, many of them agree, they start doing the whole, but you got to understand, she's been through so much with black men, and you have to understand, like, you don't get it, Tyrone. She's been dogged. Her baby daddy did this, and her ex-boyfriend did that, and her ex-husband did that. So I understand. So even though me and you are good, y'all got to watch those type of women. But I understand where she's coming from. Oh, really now? Do you? All right. This young lady essentially said black men are spoiled because people do for black men. Then turns around, whether it's attempting to gaslight black men or whether she meant it in earnest and she doesn't know the numbers, then spoke of white men having trust funds set up for them. And by the way, this young lady isn't the first one we've seen on these interwebs that speak like white men just got it together financially like that. Right? Huh. As I said before, eventually we are going to see on stage, on camera, a black woman or black women debating non-black people about how horrible black men are. This young lady, the Chrissies, the Yannies, the Cynthia G's, the Lexus Exodus, the Mahogany Pinks, the Shira Sevens, the Crystalline Karazins, the Princellas, the Kim Fosters, eventually We are going to see their acolytes, or maybe even them, on stage, Nyla Blobs. We're going to see them on stage with non-black people arguing. And I want to be very clear for anyone that doesn't get what Mr. Z is saying. Black women will be speaking about how horrible black men are and daring the non-black people across from them to speak about black men in a positive light. Mark my words, you will see it, and it will be on camera. The revolution will not be televised, but this will be. Yes, everyone, we do live in that topsy-turvy world. Where black women are going to be speaking about how horrible black men are, Hannah. Don't show up for black women, and how homophobic, transphobic, colorist, sexist, misogynistic a-holes that don't want to build for black women and are horrible to their children and horrible to black women and horrible to black LGBTQ, just horrible people. Eventually, you're going to have black women sounding like that, attempting to debate non-black people, and their argument is, you don't get it, you're not in the black community, he treats you better. Non-black men don't do, black men don't do that around non-black people. Listen, Karen, you're his preference. Listen, Consuelo, you're his preference. You don't get it. All right? Yeah, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. You're his preference. You don't get it. Of course you're going to defend him. He doesn't treat you the way he treats us. And colorism and colorism and texturism and texturism and featureism and body shaming. And see, he'll date a fat white woman. He won't date a fat black woman. And for those of you that didn't catch what Mr. Z is covering, we'll play this one more again. We're going to play another clip after this, and then we'll make some of our closing statements. Here we go.
So if you have a white man laid up in your bed, or a white man claiming you publicly or in general, take care of that white man. Do what you need to do for that white man. Yes, jump on it. Jump on that train. If Luke, Ryan, Dustin, if they are looking at you, you go be with Luke, Ryan, or Dustin right now. Drop everything you were doing. Go be with him. Be with that man. Truly and honestly, for the longest, I didn't even see myself marrying no black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man. I did not see myself with a black man. Black woman, please do not see this. Do not see the white man looking at you as anything that is bad. Because as a black woman who's dated white men, let me tell you something. Those boys, they will treat you as if they owe you. Which they do. They treat you as if they owe you for slavery. And I wish I was playing, but they really do. They treat you as if they really are trying to repay you. They're saying they're sorry for what their ancestors did to yours. They're repaying you. Because a white man is going to take care of you. The white man takes care of the black woman. They treat them as if they're literal queens. They do anything you want them to do. And even for the white man, listen to this. Even for the white man to step out with a black woman. Now, a black man stepping out with a white woman, it's like, okay, whatever, what's new? But a white man to step out with a black woman, for a white man to go out and say, I want to be with this woman, and there's nothing that the society can say to me. White man, y'all are eating. And I want to let the white man know right now, as a woman who was dated some whites, everything that y'all do for us, y'all already know that we're reciprocating. Y'all already know that it's coming back in tenfold. But the fact, I just want to thank y'all, because for the white man to actually step out from a white woman to get with a black and to go black at that, man, come on now, white man. You cool. I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping for you. White men, they have the power to do different things in this world that a lot of people do not have the power to do. Power or the privilege. That's the key word, privilege. They do not have the privilege to do. They do not have the privilege of a white man. Do whatever you need to do for that white man, because, baby, let me tell you something. Now, 9 times out of 10, the main difference I've seen between black and white men is black men, they really don't be emotionally, financially, like mentally, they be all like missing those areas. They be like unstableness, like they just don't be knowing what's going on. They're not good with finances. They're used to people babying them. They're used to people like just doing for them, like handicapping them, crippling them, like literally making them crippled. Like that's what they're used to. They're used to people just kind of catering for them, but they really don't have the big things that are important. They don't have them figured out. But a white man, as soon as Dustin get out of high school, that boy got a trust fund set up. A trust fund. He got fun. He got money set up. So if you are a black woman and a white man is looking at you, you jump on that white man. You jump on that white man. Because let me tell you something. Me personally, I'm still a Luke. I'm still looking for me a Dustin. I'm still looking for me a Ryan. I'm still looking for one. And the reason being is because I understood black men, they don't be having it all together. They don't. They're really good for that's good.
Black men are good for sex.
But as far as everything else goes, it's kind of like a lot of them, they don't check those boxes. But man, they're going to check those boxes. And if they don't check them today, as a black woman, all you have to do is put it in their ear. And you know what? They're going to find out who they need to talk to. They have that lawyer on the phone right now. And they have that shit set up. They have it set up. That's the privilege. The white man privilege. The white man privilege. It will run off on you. So because you work with the man. I'm just saying for the black woman, if a white man is looking at you, get up and get up on it. Because that white man can take you further than a black man has ever taken you.
And that, everyone, notice what she also said. If that white man gives you any type of play, drop everything. Drop everything. Now, there you go with understanding hierarchy, positionality, right? To defer to him, all the things that they say they're incapable of doing when it comes to you, dear black men. They don't know what you're talking about. That sounds sexist. That sounds misogynistic. Right? I'll let my man lead if all the pre-qualifiers that you have to hit as a black man. That's why I call it the black tax. The white man just has to walk in the door as a white man. And his white skin is the pre-qualifier. He has to prove nothing. I'm really going to have that conversation with Army Ose Frimpong about what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman in context of American society of history. Because the more and more we hear women speak, particularly women of color, particularly black women, we understand that when they say man and when they say woman, what they really mean is white man and white woman. Ain't I a woman is why am I not being treated like a white woman? Because her femininity is the gold standard. Her womanhood is the gold standard. The way the society sees her is the gold standard. Shout out to DC. Treatment. The way the society treats her. Once again, we're specifically speaking about upper middle class, maybe solidly middle, trending to upper middle class, white women and above. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right? And Dr. Thunder said, I know he's streaming right now. I'm about to move out his way in a little bit. Take some money, bro. I appreciate your consistency. Thank you, Dr. Thunder. I know you're streaming. Hopefully you'll come back and listen when you're done. But thank you. Thank you very much. Right? We cover this, and Barry Hamilton says, let them go. We are letting them go, Barry. But we're covering this because of the negative PR that women like this, see, a woman like this, let's say she goes to school, she gets a degree, she's on some type of panel, they're speaking, and women like this, black women like this, are who they put the microphone in front of, and then they ask them about, the black community and raising black children and, why the marriage rate is so low in the black community, etc., etc. They put the microphone in front of black women like this and then ask them to speak up on and for the black community when black women like this have nothing but rancor for black men. Right? That's why we cover stuff like this. That is why we cover things like this. That is why, shout out to Edward Anderson, we say, tell him to date out. And Mr. Z is taking it a step further nowadays and saying, tell them to date out from middle school. Tell them to date out from middle school. That way you raise your sons that ask her about her dating history. She got one, two white dudes in there, it's done. The first guy she ever dated was white, it's done. Because if the first white dude she ever dated in high school was white, that means the first guy she probably ever had sex with was white, it's done. You can't do anything with her. I don't care how many black men she dated after that. Right? Oh wait, she said the first three, four guys she ever dated were white, Latino, Asian. Now she's in her later 20s. Now she's messing with black guys. It's done. It's over. Right? Cheryl, I'm not even gonna read those names out loud. I'm not. Right? It's done. You can't do anything with those women. And Kev C says, and thank you for the super chat, Kev C. And Kev C says, black men can't date slash marry white women for quote unquote privileges. White women, non black women cannot extend social benefits to black men. They're still just women, period. Exactly. And as a matter of fact, that's what Dr. Jennifer Lundquist spoke to also, right? Dr. Jennifer, the clip I played, a little bit after that, maybe within the next 15, 20 seconds, she spoke to exactly what you're saying, Kevin C. That the white woman privilege just doesn't extend to black men. So all that talk that we've been hearing for decades from black women and from other women of color, but namely black women, that oh y'all just want the white man's trophy. It's not the same. What we might get a couple of cool points from other black men for walking down the street with a thick ass cute Consuela Latina, but that does not quote unquote raise our stock in this society, right? OJ's wife didn't necessarily raise his stock in this society. Obviously, pre-situation, it didn't raise his stock. There might have been other black men or Latino or men that were okay. Yeah, oh, you got your little cute white woman. Okay, that's nice. It doesn't raise our stock, right? And quite frankly, I agree with this statement 100%. Longo, I agree with this statement 100%. And maybe we should rethink the song "Don't Save Her, She Don't Want to Be Saved." It's not just her being out here in the streets; it's her being with non-black men, right? And so we're gonna play this one more again. Not the young lady speaking, but we're gonna play this from Dr. Jennifer Lundquist one more again, so I can once again drive home and reiterate the point that, dear black men, it's not about you. It's not about what you haven't done, what you haven't built. That you're a lazy bum. No, 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 no. Dear black men, right? So let's play this one more again.
How people interact with each other. So what we found is that race is the deal breaker of all characteristics. It operates more strongly than education, physical characteristics. It is the deal breaker. And one in interviewing, especially many of the white men, is this aggrieved feeling that they were disadvantaged in online dating, and that they were being ignored. And yet, in our quantitative analysis, we find that white men are the most desired of all men. And this has been shown in many other platforms too. So this is not specific to the platform that we're looking at. Our quantitative analysis showed that almost all women or all women of all races, and almost all gay men, actually black men, did not show this, that their preference was strongest for white men. Now this preference for white men was statistically significant for other races, but especially strong for white women. But I found it really interesting that women and gay men of other races would respond first to white men and only secondly to men of their same race. So on the other hand, when it comes to preferences for women, so if we look at the ways in which straight men and lesbians, who their preferences are, who they interact with, etc., we found that unlike for men, whiteness was not the defining characteristic per se, but the defining pattern was for same race preferences, so contacting others of the same race. So if you have a white man.
Yeah. And PK Angel, I'll check it out. I'll check it out later, PK. I'll check it out. Yeah. Now what? Now what? We've been hearing for years how black men put white women on a pedestal, and black men and the exoticals and the preferences and the light skins and the preferences and the exoticals and the white women and non-black women. And really though, women of color put white men on a pedestal. And this young lady just described to us, first, yes. Secondly, why? Right? This young lady just told us, yes, yeah, Z is right, Ed is right, BGS is right, Charles is right, right? All these people in the black manosphere are right. Keep It 100 is right. Rest in peace, Kevin 7 is right. The Roger Report is right, etc., etc. Angry Man is right. Obsidian is right. They said all of us are right. But which you don't understand. I want to be a white woman too. Why does she get to have the Benz and the Beamer and I can't? I want the Audi too. I want to live in the burbs too. I want to look down on other people too. I want Louis Vuittons too. Red bottoms for all of you that don't know. I want to practice classism the way they practice classism. Why can't I look down on other people too? I don't want to be stuck in the black community with black men. Ew. And you wonder why it's so easy to transition from swirler divester content, anti-black man content, to luxury lifestyle and hypergamous content. Ain't that right, Chrissy? Ain't that right, Paris? Huh? Not so much Yanni. Yanni just do whatever she want to do on her channel. Shout out to her. But Paris, Chrissy, ain't that right? Huh? Because it's all the same thing. Pink pole worshipping. The lifestyle content, the hypergamy content, the anti-black man content. It's all about pink pole worshipping. And if you can't get the pink pole, then you might as well be with other black women. Ain't that right, Princella? I told y'all, tell them to date out or date same sex. Oh, yeah. Talk about that, Trill. And if you got to get into the occults and the different spiritualities, and if you got to play with witchcraft and voodoo and okomi and all this other stuff to try to get those ends met, so be it. Sprinkle, sprinkle, right? Hmm. So at the end of the day, and y'all share this with Sarge Willie Pete, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. It's not about black men did not win a race war. That's what these people have an issue with. Black men did not win a race war, right? Black men are the ones that didn't go around the planet, rape, pillage, conquer, destroy everything. That's what these people have an issue with. These women wish they were upper middle class white women. Not just one, they want to look down on other women, working class men, right? And their biggest gripe with black men is that black men have not put them in the position in their mind to look down on others, right? So I'm gonna play this clip from her one more again, and then we're gonna end out everyone. So hold on to your hats. PK said he don't know how anyone can listen to this for more than 15 seconds, right? And PK says, yeah, I don't know how people can listen to this for more than 15 seconds without just being absolutely disgusted. Well, for me, um, I understand that these people are gone. I understand that, you know, you live in an anti-black society, a white supremacist society, and you are dealing with women who now, instead of before when they weren't in the same classes as white girls and white women and they weren't working right next to, they might have been working in the home with white women, right? But it was very clear now they have the illusion of some type of equality, right? And because the laws are quote unquote open and they're working next to the white man and the white woman, now it just feels like they're so close, but yet they're so far away. And it's driving them crazy. To be very clear, white black women are losing it. You hear it from Yanni more and more. She has all the material stuff. She's just missing the man. Now she want to start a whole movement about decentering men because that's not for her subscribers. That's for her. The decentering men thing is not for her subscribers. It's for her because that's the one thing she feels like she's missing. Chrissy, I should have recorded that from Chrissy. She's bragging on her luxury apartment and how her life is pretty swell, and then you heard her somber tone. You know, I'm in my luxury apartment by myself, sounding lonely as absolute hell. You've been making anti-black men content for 6, 7 years. and you made money off of YouTube. You tried to do the dark skin magazine, etc., etc. And in a moment of honesty, you didn't even actually say it. You had a somber tone and you pretty much lamented being in your luxury apartment by your goddamn self. Right? You spoke of how your dad would come and defend you no matter what, your brother, your uncles, etc., etc. But yet you're still talking trash about black men. You admitted you started dating out from the jump, from young. You never had this undying loyalty to black men. And yet you're well into your 30s. What, you're approaching 40 and got nothing to show for give or take 2 decades of dating out. Oh, and being what she said, polygynous or polyamorous, right? A couple decades of dating out. You have a career that's paying you well, you're making good money on YouTube, and you still are not only just single. Let's be very clear. Mr. Z already said being single does not automatically mean you're lonely, and it's not automatically a bad thing. But let's be very clear. When you lament being in your luxury apartment by yourself, you're single and lonely. Oh, god damn, that's a good comment. And Sahel says luxury isn't luxury if you're the only one who sees it. Good comment. I'm stealing that one, Sahel. That's good. That's a good one. That's a good one. It's true too, right? It's absolutely true, right? And so people like that, you got Crystalline Karazin, divorced the white man, children pretty much all grown. I think she only got one or two that's not fully grown yet, but they got to be in their late teens at this point. Talking to Themis, talking to whoever, looking like a goddamn drunk auntie. You spend the better part of what, 2 decades on the internet, plus before the internet, or at least before high speed internet, talking crap about black men. And now you don't got the white man either. Now you looking like the drunk auntie. Now you don't have the white man either. All that provider, protector, and white man this, and black man don't do this, and black man this, and that. Now you got to switch up your content just a smidge. No, I'm just get the best man for the job. It's not all about the white man. Yeah, that sound nice. That's not what you were saying a decade ago. All these people. That's why I say let them talk. Let them talk. Let them be loud. I said it before. Y'all being too loud, but no, let them be loud. I'm gonna keep on telling them they're being too loud because I know they're not gonna listen. Let them talk. Because even Chrissy laments, oh, y'all keep on bringing up this one thing. Yeah, because you said it and you meant it, right? Yanni, I want to be a kept woman of leisure. Kim Foster. Not only was it the black jocks, but the black nerds. I had to go to prom with a white boy. What she said, I have the choice not to F with you. Yeah. I may not have all of the choices. I may not have, but I have the choice not to F with you. All these people, Khadijah over here, Every 5 seconds, she's talking about desirability. The politics of desirability, my darker skin tone, right? Desirability, my darker skin tone. Now she's on some LGBTQ kick. Because let's be very clear, Black women like Khadijah are not just LGBTQ because they woke. It's a political statement. It's I don't think I'm gonna get the type of Black man I find attractive. And I know we still live in a white supremacist anti-Black society. I'm not gonna be the little plaything for some racist white dude. So now she's LGBTQ. Talking about what? Why don't y'all try being fruity in the booty? Something about LGBTQ folks. They really like to mock and insult straight people because they think it's a joke over here. Like we have to make ourselves straight. Yeah, that's it. All right. So now they have one of their acolytes over here pretty much worshiping the ground the white men walk on. Chrissy want to speak about all these women that have referenced her. Have y'all checked out Chrissy? I need to check out Chrissy. All these women on TikTok referencing her. She ain't gonna talk about how many Black women have listened to her and run right into the buzzsaw of white men preying on them. That's why you got to keep on coming out every once in a while with one of your videos, kind of try to protect what you said in the past, right? What's the term I'm looking for that I can't get out right now? And excuse my background, right? That's why you got to keep on coming out with these, right? Damage control. That's the term I was trying to come out with. That's why you got to keep on coming out with one of these damage control videos every once in a while. And so we're going to play this one more again. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and we'll end out after this.
So if you have a white man laid up in your bed, or a white man claiming you publicly or in general, take care of that white man. Do what you need to do for that white man. Yes, jump on it. Jump on that train. If Luke, Ryan, Dustin, if they are looking at you, you go be with Luke, Ryan, or Dustin right now. Drop everything you were doing. Go be with him. Be with that man. Truly and honestly, for the longest, I didn't even see myself marrying no Black man. I see myself with a Caucasian man. I did not see myself with a Black man, Black woman. Please do not see this. Do not see the white man looking at you as anything that is bad. Because as a Black woman who's dated white men, let me tell you something. Those boys, they will treat you as if they owe you. Which they do. They treat you as if they owe you for slavery. And I wish I was playing, but they really do. They treat you as if they literally are trying to repay you. They're saying they're sorry. What their ancestors did to yours, they're repaying you. Because the white man is going to take care of you. The white man takes care of the Black woman. They treat them as if they're little queens. They do anything you want them to do. And even for the white man, listen to this. Even for the white man to step out with a Black woman. Now, a Black man stepping out with a white woman, it's like, okay, whatever, what's new? But a white man to step out with a Black woman, for a white man to go out and say, I'm going to be with this woman, and there's nothing that the society can say to me. White man, y'all are eating. And I want to let the white man know right now, as a woman who's dated some whites, everything that y'all do for us, y'all already know that we're reciprocating it. Y'all already know that it's coming back in tenfold. But the back, I just want to thank y'all because for the white man that actually stepped out from a white woman to get with a Black and to go Black at that. Man, come on now, white man. You're cool. I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping for you. White men, they have the power to do different things in this world that a lot of people do not have the power to do. Power or the privilege. That's the key word, privilege. They do not have the privilege to do. They do not have the privilege of a white man. Do whatever you need to do for that white man because, baby, let me tell you something. Now, 9 times out of 10, the main difference I've seen between Black and white men is Black men, they really don't be emotionally, financially, like mentally, they be all like missing those areas. They be like unstableness, like they just don't be knowing what's going on. They're not good with finances. They're used to people babying them. They're used to people like just doing for them, like handicapping them, crippling them, like literally making them crippled. Like that's what they're used to. They're used to people just kind of find out who they need to talk to, they'll have that woman on the phone right now, and they'll have that shit set up. They have it set up. That's the privilege. The white man privilege. The white man privilege. It will run off on you. So because you are. I'm just saying for the black woman, if a white man is looking at you, get up and get up on it. Because that white man can take you further than a black man has ever taken you.
Everyone, this is what Chrissy and Paris, right? Paris with her. Kamala chose better. Serena chose better. Eve chose better. This is what women like this produce. Crystalline Kerosene, Cynthia G, Nyla Blog. This is what y'all produce. Racist little black girls in women's bodies. A black woman saying black men are no good for anything but sex. And these are supposed to be the moral compass of not just the black community, but of America. Right? What does everybody tell us? Black women are the backbone of the black community. Now they tell us black women are the backbone of the Democratic Party. Women like this, right? Women like Alicia Garza and Patrisse Cullors, that if you asked them about black men, they would sound, well, like this. I guess for Patrisse Cullors and Alicia Garza, maybe they'll sound more like Princella. Yikes. So on that note, everyone, now y'all hear how they sound. Now y'all hear what it's about. We're going to continue to bring y'all content like this, not to just use it as rage porn. This is way more important, way bigger than just, another get you angry, get you rageful content. No. This is pushing back against all of the Steve Harveys and Shaqs and, right, the Willie D's and the Boyce Watkins and the Dr. Umar Johnsons and, right, the Derek Jacksons and all of these weirdos. The FD signifier and the T1Js and the foreign man in a foreign land and the Conscious Lee, right? The Funky Danivas and all of these people that just they advocate for black women against black men in a vacuum. Y'all notice I just only mentioned the men, right? Yes, even Diallo Kenyatta, who I genuinely respect. But it's funny when he turns around and mock the term gynocracy, right? These are your daughters, and I know Diallo has 2 boys, but still, Diallo, you have 2 sons. One of your sons is an adult. He's out here in the dating world. He'll be fish food for women like this. Did you and your wife raise him to look out for women like this? Uh-oh. At least FD Signifier still got some years. Huh? Dr. Jared Ball and Diallo Kenyatta mocking us for using the term gynocracy. When black young women and black girls are walking around the black community sounding like this, and y'all don't got nothing to say. Y'all could write whole dissertations, write whole books about sexist black men, colorists, futurists, texturists, anti-LGBTQ, homophobic, transphobic. Meanwhile, your daughters sound like this. Y'all mum's the word. Nothing to say. Huh? Nothing to say. Diallo acting like he don't understand why the people that were critiquing what was going on with Kiki Palmer and her baby daddy, the women, he was like, wait a minute, why y'all? Oh, she make more money than him, so what? She get to act disrespectful and mean and whatever because she got more money? Yes, Diallo, that's what the women are saying. Yes, the answer is yes. Y'all raise a bunch of, and not Diallo in particular, but America raised a bunch of neoliberal young people and then wonder why your daughters sound like this. Why your daughters are filing for divorce left, right, and center on your sons. You raise a bunch of money grubbing, hyper capitalist wannabe white men. And no, it's not just your sons, right? All this talk about, oh, these boys, these black men, they want to be patriarchs and sexist this and sexist that. And meanwhile, your daughters sound like this, your nieces sound like this. And y'all mum's the word. Tell me this isn't sexism. She boiled black men down to just being able to have sex. How many black Crystalline Kerosene a decade ago was saying, oh, black men are nothing but big D's, right? Just their big dick and their swag. Crystalline Kerosene said that a decade ago. Y'all didn't have nothing to say. Mahogany Pink most viewed video is damn near what, approaching 300,000. You trying to tell me some of y'all didn't come across that video? Nothing to say. The false promise of black love 1 and 2. Nothing to say. Lexus Exodus over here making the most extreme homophobic comments. Only FD Signifier covered it for all of 2.5 seconds. All of y'all anti-homophobic people, y'all have nothing to say. Just critiquing your sons, critiquing black boys, critiquing black men, call sexist, 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 misogynist, misogynist, misogynist. Meanwhile, your daughters sound like Yanny, y'all don't have nothing to say. They sound like Chrissy, y'all have nothing to say. They sound like Paris Malone, y'all have nothing to say. They sound like Cynthia G. God damn. Your daughters sound like Cynthia G. All of y'all trying to tell me, you know how many people saw that Cynthia G. Dr. Umar Johnson clip? Because we clipped it. It was all over Twitter. It was on IG. It was on YouTube. Y'all said nothing. Cynthia G is talking about aborting black male babies, and y'all said nothing. What? And you know, got to give credit to FD Signifier for this one. He said all the stuff that he's heard from the black manosphere, we don't come close to saying nothing like that. Nothing. Oh yeah. And yes he has. And Will AR said Kevin Samuels called out the LGBTQ for basically allowing their lifestyle to be used as slurs against heterosexual black men. Yeah. We've seen it. I say it all the time. We've seen it. Black woman using homophobic slurs in front of her LGBTQ black male friend. He don't got nothing to say. As a matter of fact, when What's the dude name? Not Funky Geneva. When what's the chubby gay dude? Oh my god, what is this dude name? Saucy Santana. When Saucy Santana told black women, we're the ones that help you rediscover your femininity, or we're the ones teaching you womanhood, or something along those lines, he said. And Claudia Jordan was offended, and Funky Geneva, although it seemed like he didn't agree with the statement, was trying to explain the statement, and also, kind of get on black women for exactly what you're saying, for making homophobic comments, right? What did Claudia Jordan do? Low key kind of threaten Funky Geneva with a lack of support. And when I say it wasn't just her threatening Funky Geneva, it's black women who always kind of threaten LGBTQ black men with this, hey, but we the only ones that really support y'all. You remember? In other words, you better take our verbal abuse. Yeah, because them black men, them straight black men, they ain't gonna be you're not gonna have no allyship over there. So you better take the occasional homophobic comments, the occasional making fun of you, the occasional we get into it, and I remind you that you're a man, and you're making me feel scared now. All of a sudden, oh my god, I feel threatened now. You my homegirl, right up until we get into an argument. Now you're a full on man. Huh? And all of that is how you produce a black young woman like this. Talking crazy and reckless and sounding desperate on the interwebs. As I said before, Yanny helps to produce a woman like this. Or I want to be a kept woman of leisure, and if I can't be, then decenter men. Paris produces women like this, with her bragging about her $2,000 restaurant tab. Chrissy produces a woman like this, with her hypergamy and lifestyle crap. Kim Foster produces a woman like this, with her class talk. And you're not of my class, and I'm of a better class. And we have a problem talking about class in Black America. Translation, I'm better than you Negroes. You loser working class Negroes, especially you black men. You're not even black women. What did Homeboy tell the African brother in the Rwanda movie? You're not even black, you're African. Or you're not even an N-word, you're African. Right? That's Kim Foster speaking of black men. Not only are you not of my class, you're not even a black woman, you're a black man. You're a working class black man. Ew. That's how you get to where we are now. That's how this young lady gets to sounding how she sounds now. The black community seeing Dr. Umar Johnson speaking to Cynthia G. I don't care how y'all feel about Dr. Umar Johnson. This lady is disrespecting a PhD, a black PhD, to everyone's face. But I forgot she's a black woman, so she trumped whatever degree he has just by being a black woman. We watch her disrespecting Dr. Umar Johnson, saying whatever little BS bachelor's degree she has in whatever subject she has it in is equivalent to him. Y'all watch her disrespect him. I forgot he's a black man. Y'all don't like him anyway. And he's a black man. And he's taking a stance y'all don't agree with. So to hell with him and his PhD. Ain't that right? Y'all watch her disrespect Dr. Umar Johnson. Y'all watch her look him in the face and say, yeah, I said abort black male babies. and none of you said anything. All these black academics who make sure you say PhD, who make sure you say doctor before their name, not PhD. Make sure you say doctor in front of their name. They make sure of it. They watch Cynthia G disrespect Dr. Umar Johnson and said nothing. Where were all the tweets from all these PhDs? The Brittany Coopers, right? Professor Crunk, where are you? Y'all said nothing. Right? And so when you have women like this practically begging white men, y'all are not embarrassed? Practically begging white men to come and save her from Blackistan. No one has anything to say. So when the picture of the brother shows up with him proposing to the white girl in the cotton field, which everyone collectively was throwing up, even black men, y'all make fun of that, y'all mock that. But the news segment of the black woman who wanted to play sex with her white boyfriend, and he ended up spitting on her, the irony, because they got in an argument about it because the white boyfriend did not want to play sex. None of you cover that. Of course you don't. Black women and girls all over the internet begging white men to be with them. Y'all say nothing. Black girls doing my massa challenge with their unsuspecting white boyfriends. Y'all say nothing. Are you not embarrassed? All this, I'll never propose to a man. A man better ask me out. If he see the signs, if I'm giving him a wink, or if I'm looking at him, he bet. Now you have black women saying, there's nothing wrong with speaking up, ladies, if it's a white man. Now you have black women straight up saying, buy my book, The White Man's Whore. Diallo, quiet. Dr. Jared Ball, quiet. FD Signifier, pretty much quiet. Eddie, quiet. Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, quiet. T1J, quiet. Consciously, quiet. Dr. Umar Johnson, quiet. All of you quiet. Y'all act like y'all ain't see the episode where that damn immigrant sister called in to Kevin Samuels' show just to brag about the fact that she got a white man, and Kevin Samuels flamed her ass. Good car analogy, Kevin. Rest in peace. That was a great car analogy. Yeah, you wanted that 6 Series, that convertible 6 Series, and then you got the Benz, and you were happy with the Benz. And then your neighbor pulled up with the 6 Series. The exact one you wanted, and the same what he said, ice blue that you wanted it in. Yeah, all of them. Malik Shabazz, right? Rizza Islam, all these people are just quiet. All these people quiet. They act like they're not coming. Listen, y'all, they're coming across the same videos we're coming across. All of these people are coming across the same videos we are coming across. They're coming across the same comments. They see black women dancing on Jeezy's misfortune, his potential divorce. They see it. They saw black women dancing on Kobe Bryant's grave. They saw black women dancing on Kevin Samuels' grave. They saw it. If the women on Fox Soul covered Kevin Samuels' death and the fact that black women were celebrating, if Vivica A. Fox got to get her last little digs in because Kevin Samuels mentioned her potato face head ass, other people saw it too. Other Notable people in the black community saw those comments too. They saw black women dancing on Kevin's grave, dancing on Kobe's grave, wishing Jamie Foxx death. They see it, right? But like Pascal Robert said when he covered the Will Smith Chris Rock debacle, he was surprised to see how many black women who claim to be anti-violent, black female academics, black accomplished women were cheering on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock because black women's hair. Dear Pascal, this is what it really is. Why do y'all act like y'all didn't grow up with these women? Jesus Christ. Pascal, you're an extra. Y'all ain't never hear extra black women speak about dating, about interracial sex, about interracial relationships, about how horrible black men are. All these damn Xers and boomers, especially, and not even younger Xers, all these older Xers and boomers. The women of your age are whole, sexist, materialistic monsters. All those women 55 and younger. 55, 50, 45. A bunch of Xers acting like they don't know what we talking about. We ain't even gonna mention the boomers right now. Then you got the millennials who simultaneously want black men to not be homophobic or transphobic, etc., while also wanting black men to be patriarchs. What? But patriarchs without the leadership. Just provide the resources, protect, occasional good dick. But you don't have no say so, and you definitely don't have the predominant say so in the final word. Right? Now you have this young lady talking about black men not being emotionally and mentally there. Every other group of people, not even just every other group of women, talking about black men egalitarianism and how they speak positive, how they treat other people, and how they vote in Congress, and but yet black women over here telling you you don't got nothing on the white man when it comes to, and it's the same thing that um what YouTube channel is it with the three mixed black women speaking about how white men really understand you and they really feel you. All this gaslighting talk. And then you pull out the data, and all the data say, yeah, black men are the most egalitarian men, and they do chores more than other men. They're more involved fathers than other men. They don't have a problem washing dishes compared to other men. And then you let black women talk. They're sexist, misogynist, and they don't do this, and they're colorist and featureism and texturism. And they're hyper masculine, etc., etc., etc. And Spain Man says divestors would make excellent material for a hypothetical Boondocks reboot. Man, they'll be so quick to call Aaron Magruder homophobic, not homophobic, but sexist and misogynistic. They'll be so quick to call him that if he was to ever. They already wanted to say that he was practicing respectability a little bit on the Boondocks. They're already saying that. If he came out with a divester episode, oh man. Well, but black men do this and black men do that, and why can't black women love, and why can't black women end up with white men, and you're sexist and you're misogynistic and respectability and policing black women's bodies and etc., etc. Yawn. All right. So on that note, everyone, you know, I'm gonna close out. Spain Man said groveling. Yeah, they groveling. Yes, they're groveling. Groveling for white men, gaslighting you with these omnipotent, omnipotent, omniscient, right? Omnipotent, omnipotent, same difference. Omnipotent, omniscient, right? Mythical, magical white men, gaslighting you with that talk, calling you hyper masculine while wanting you to be patriarchal, but not really, while chasing after the white man because of patriarchy. And Pascal, like, if there was one thing I could say, like when Pascal said that, with the Chris Rock Will Smith situation, I'm like, yes, Pascal, because they don't mean it, man. Like, how many times are gonna run into this? Pascal runs into it. And this is a well thought out, intelligent man, right? No one would ever call Pascal dumb, ever. Same thing with Diallo. You would never call Diallo dumb. I don't even care if you disagree with him politically because he's way left. But you would never say he's uninformed or unintelligent. But all of a sudden, once we start speaking about black women, all of these brothers, their brain just go to mush. A black woman could be sounding just like Cynthia G in front of them, and they still, I don't understand what's going on here. Does not compute. Dr. Jared Ball, same thing. These women are flaming sexist, misandrous. But the second you introduce this part of the conversation to those brothers, does not compute. Malfunctioning. Right? And Trell says, omniscient is all knowing, omnipotent is all power, omnipresence is everywhere. No, I said omnipotent and omnipotent, which is like the same thing, is just pronounced, They can't see it. You understand, we're talking about women who for at least a decade on the internet have been absolutely, like, insanely loud. Insanely loud. And getting louder. You can't avoid these women on the interwebs. If you're anywhere on quote unquote black Twitter, eventually you're gonna come across one of those divester comments. You trying to tell me, these people are keeping up with the pop culture of the day and they don't see these comments? Brianna Joy Gray, you don't see these comments? You see them? MT mentioned it tacitly. She mentioned she see these comments, like a blink and you'll miss it comment she made on This Is Revolution months and months and months ago at this point. MT Toussaint, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think Pascal kind of agreed with her. So y'all see these comments, y'all just ignoring them. No one has anything to say. So no one's ever, let me get this right. All of our black political class, our black academics, our black revolutionaries, all of them all of our black luminaries, all of them have nothing but critique for black men about black men being sexist and misogynistic and et cetera, right? Anti-hierarchies of oppression, anti-patriarchal, anti-this, anti-that. And yet you're reading the comments from black women and you say nothing. Every once in a while we'll get a blink and you'll miss it side comment. Barely if you're not really paying attention, you'll miss it. They'll make a half a second comment to let you know, oh, yeah, I saw that. And so when this young lady puts out a video like this on TikTok, if a Dr. Green Gorilla doesn't cover it, and this is why the Black Manosphere exists, dear FD signifier, this is why there's a Black Manosphere. Because if we don't say it, y'all never will. If we didn't say anything about BLM, y'all would have never said anything. Y'all would have let BLM run out the back door with the money and lick your wounds. Know you got played and say nothing. We mentioned how Alicia Garza was speaking to Ice Cube. Y'all said nothing. We mentioned their mission statement. Y'all said nothing. We mentioned the memo that went around that pretty much said, "Oh, by the way, yeah, if a man walks in, a straight man, and then he tries to speak about his issues, you sideline him and then go to the people that you feel are more oppressed." In other words, oppression Olympics. Y'all said nothing. We mentioned y'all said nothing. Y'all told us we were crazy, sexist pigs. Alicia Garza and them over here celebrating their quote unquote victory at the back of their McMansion after running out the back door with how many millions of dollars, and now y'all feel a certain way. Thank you, Spain Man. Right? And Spain Man says, I don't think guys like Gender War Lord can keep up with all the anti-black man Massandry on TikTok and Twitter. Bro, he working overtime. Shout out to Gender War Lord. Got my man fingers on fire. He working overtime. And thank you, Spain Man, for that comment. Because for all of what Gender War Lord is posting, you know what these people, let me say this. Because I've heard multiple, mainly lefties, let me get on my lefties real quick. Mainly lefties speaking like this. And the way they speak is that they understand and they hear the women speaking. They're never going to acknowledge what the women are saying. But they are going to critique the men because what they think is happening is we're going through this kind of transitional period between the end of patriarchy and more egalitarian system or a more feminized system. And so we're just going through the hurt, right? This is the transition period. These are the growing pains. And so they are hell bent in critiquing and curtailing. That's the word I was looking for. Curtailing whatever anger the men are feeling, the men and the boys are feeling, and they're not going to critique the women. They're going to let the women sound as insane as humanly possible. They're never going to say anything to the women, and they're just going to let us go through our quote unquote growing pains because they see this as just growing pains. Think Uger from TYT spoke to it just a smidge when they covered like the numbers you always hear me say, the American Enterprise Institute numbers of 26% of poor Americans are married, 39% of middle class, 56% of upper middle class and above. TYT covered that years ago, and when they covered it, and Anna Kasparian was speaking, Sink was pretty much saying like, I think all the numbers are going to keep on increasing eventually, right? And I agree with him on that. But what he was essentially speaking to was this is just the growing pains. He didn't use that term, but that's pretty much what he was speaking to. Right? So that is kind of how the many in the left see it. And you kind of even hear it, let's be honest, from some of the like real feminists that are saying like, hey ladies, this is just what comes with it. We wanted the jobs, we wanted, that's what they're saying. These are the growing pains. And yeah, you're going to complain, but you'll get over it. So the handful of white feminists, and that's pretty much, listen to that. What? Wait a minute, Mr. Z. What did you just say? A handful of white feminists are pretty much the only people really saying something. A handful of white women are pretty much the only people saying something. The white men that are saying something, they're relegated to crazy misogynist, evil white man territory. The black men are saying that they're pretty much relegated to that same thing. You just want to be white patriarchs. The black women that are saying it, no one says anything. Quiet, mum's the word. The white women that are saying it, once again, mum's the word. The white women that are screaming, oh, look, I didn't sign up for this. I don't know what my foremothers had going on, but I'm not trying to be out here working until I'm 65. If you're lucky. For us millennials, let's be very clear, it's probably going to be 70, 75. That's if we even get Social Security. That's a big ass if. And because black women do not pay it, they're not watching news, they're not on any of the news channels or documentary channels or video essay channels that we're on, they're not following Cold Fusion or visual politics or anything like that, visual economic, polymatter or real life lore or any of that. They're not following Caspian Report, they're not following none of it. Al Jazeera News, none of it. When RT was on YouTube, none of it. They're not following none of it, so they don't know what's going on in the world or even in the country. So for them, the safe haven is under the white man's crotch. Right? That's how you get a young lady like this. And all of your black academics, black movers and shakers, black talking heads, none of them have anything to say. These women, and I want to be very clear, we've moved from love is love. These black women are not even saying nothing. First of all, they're not even using the word love. They're not saying love is love, and you can't help who you fall in love with. I'm just open, and I'll date anyone who treats me well and treats me like how I want to be treated. Now, they're just straight up coming straight through the middle and saying, yeah, lifestyle, prestige. This young lady straight up said it. The privilege. I want to be around white men. I want to be with the white man because of his privilege. Period. She said it straight up. Now what? Right? Now that you have women of color, namely black women, straight up saying it, I want to be with the white man because of the privilege. Amanda Marianne showed these softer men, and she showed two white men. So black women, Latina women, and Asian women will find any way to say the white man's penis. I want someone that's understanding and caring, the white man's penis. I want a Superman, I want a macho man, the white man's penis. I want someone that's nerdy and smart and that doesn't really realize how attractive he is, the white man's penis. I want somebody that's insightful and that that listens and that's caring and that's soft and we can go and frolic in the in the forest, and he has no fear of maybe wearing something that might be traditionally considered feminine, the white man's penis. I want a man's man that shoot guns and that that likes lifted trucks, and the white man's penis. I want someone that's outdoorsy and that the white man's penis. I want someone that reads and understands my jokes and that's witty and that's essentially Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man, the white man's penis. Women of color will find any way to come right back down to the white man's penis. So when they say a man, they mean the man. They mean white men. Shout out to Dr. Jennifer Lundquist. And I'll end out with that. Now y'all can see why it's so easy to transition to black men ain't ish, to white male worship, to talks of black women leveling up, to talks of hypergamy, to talks of lifestyle branding and lifestyle and all of this lifestyle talk. Ain't that right, Chrissy? Because at the end of the day, it really is about the white man, as Dr. Jennifer Lundquist said. And this is not no nobody. PhD, not no little whatever that got her a bachelor's degree in marketing. Shout out to you, Chrissy, or whatever you had your bachelor's degree in. And I'm not mocking you for that because Mr. Z doesn't have a degree. But this is a PhD in sociology. And essentially, as she said, people don't like people don't like that you may know them better than they know themselves. She didn't say that, but she said that. Nothing more off-putting than for you to tell people, "Oh, where were you born? Where do you currently live? Okay, you were born what year? How old are you? Okay, you went to okay. I can tell you your life trajectory, who you're most likely to marry, what your aspirations are, etc., and I'm probably within 80% right." Dear black women, yes, you're that predictable. So on that note, Mr. Z did not realize I was ranting that long. Okay, everyone. Um, I guess for the replay gang, like, share, subscribe. Thank you button, and we will. And I completely played over Dr. Thunder today. That was not my plan, Dr. Thunder. That was not the plan for today. My apologies. Let's hurry up and get out of here. We'll pause right here. The Roger report should be coming on any minute now. Like, share, subscribe. We will pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content. Like I said, the Roger Report should be streaming in any minute now. And y'all go check out other non-Manosphere content. Check out my community tab. A bunch of non-Manosphere content there. Yes, and yeah, everyone. Like I said, this young lady is a prime example of what we've been speaking about. Shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla for bringing this to us. Shout out to Keep It 100, Marcus, for bringing this to us. And y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Might come back to y'all with another video later on today. Maybe. We'll see. And on that note, Mr. Z out. All right, everybody. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day.